Chapter 8.
Chapter 8. Me, said Peter. It's best you just listen. We can't understand you, said Hugh. We don't have much time. Once the four aqueducts appear, it will be too late. There's a man who's been crucified in the city. His name is Jesus. His disciples prophesy that he will return from the dead. When he does, all hell will break loose. He means to raise an army of dead men, said Douglas. Hugh got me up to speed after he captured me. I was enticed to side with him once he explained the situation. Mark popped out of the music box in Douglas's hand. Righto, we need you, Peter. You and your parents hold the key to defeating Jesus. Jesus isn't the only problem. Once the four aqueducts appear, it is prophesied that the Omega Duck will bring about the end of the world, said Hugh. He can be stopped, though, and depending on who stops them, the world as we know it may still come to an end. Whosoever prevents the Omega Duck from appearing shall gain immense power, said Douglas. Jesus means to be that man, but we have a plan. It's called the christening. Hugh explained it to us, said Mark. We need to push the evolution of aqueducts to the limit, but to do that we need to resurrect the goddess of roller ducks. She's a badass from Rift Space. Me? Asked Peter. We don't yet know how to access Rift Space, but we do know that the creation of aqueducts and the appearance of the aqueducts seems to make things less stable, said Hugh. Look there at the aqueduct. Since creating 3 aqueducts, the water has reversed directions, defying gravity. But all we need to do is create more aqueducts, asked Mark. Well, that would work, but haven't you noticed, Mark? Inquired Douglas. Peter and his parents are the only known ducks in all this land. Oh yeah, now I think of it, I haven't known no other ducks. What do we do then? We await the next aqueduct, said Hugh. I spoke with the first. It told me it wants to help us. Thomas! Thomas hobbles over. Yes, master? Bring it forth. Yes, master. Thomas leaves, then returns with an old-looking relic. It took some time figuring out how it works, but I managed to use this device to create the 3 aqueducts. That includes you, Peter, said Hugh. We need to locate the second aqueduct. It may hold another key piece to this whole thing. Thomas, what are you doing? Nothing, master. No tricks now. See? He holds up both hands, but it is clear there is something behind his back. Thomas! Cried Hugh. Ah! No, it's not Thomas anymore, said Thomas. What bloody Sunday is it you're hiding? Give it up, you're caught, said Mark. Not caught, just... I just want to be the guy, okay? Said Thomas. Douglas, sensing the situation, grabs Mark and Peter. Run, now! Darkness befalls the room. Thomas slowly brings out another relic. It looks like a compass. I just want to be free. Is that so wrong? I want to be equal. I want everyone to be equal to me! Screams Thomas. He turns some dial on the relic and falls to the floor. Then he rises, slowly, ball gag in his mouth, wetsuit on his body. Thomas, you really are a fool, said Hugh, laughing. What did you think would happen? Thomas looked stunned. Me. Can't understand you, dimwit, said Hugh. Well, I guess there are four aqueducts now. Maybe we can finally open Rift Space. But isn't opening Rift Space dangerous? Asked Douglas, settling back into his seat. Yes, but it's the only way to find Zani-san, goddess of the Rolodex. The Aquaduck told me she was locked in Rift Space for losing sight of her ideals. It was a self-imposed banishing. She did it to herself. Me, said Thomas. He was crying and throwing a tantrum on the floor. Knock it off, Thomas. Knock it off, Thomas. We're all trying to have a nice little conversation, and you're trying to ruin it. Bugger off or take what's coming to you, said Mark, climbing out of the music box. Get up or shut up. Mark assumes the stance of an Irish boxer, throwing punches in the air. You were about to betray us, weren't you? Wait, said Douglas. That compass, does it still work? Couldn't we use it to make more humans into aqueducts? It's worth a shot, but who to use it on? Becoming an aqueduct is not something many would voluntarily choose to do. said Hugh. Aqueducts tend to be like prisoners in their own minds. All the darkness that dwells within them overwhelms them. See Thomas? Thomas is on the floor, huddling into a ball. Thomas has a lot of demons, and he is locked in intense spiritual warfare. How he handles it will determine what kind of aqueduct he will be when he wakes up. So, aqueducts is like a box of chocolates then. You never know what you're going to get, said Mark. Not really, said Hugh. Take Martha, for instance. She may look sweet as sunshine, but she turned on Peter faster than a cricket can sing. Turns out she's the devouring type, overprotective to the point of possession, though she would never admit it. Her primary drive is to keep Peter close to her, otherwise she would feel betrayed and abandoned. I saw the look in her eye when she did it. There's a lot of pent-up rage in there. Me, 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 said Peter. Sorry, Peter, but I must be blunt. The fate of the world depends on it, said Hugh. Gerald, on the other hand, seems positively cheerful. I don't know exactly how it works, but I think Gerald, for all his faults, is a pretty happy Aquaduck. Me, 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 said Peter. Peter, you must have done well in your spiritual battle. You seem like your normal self, said Douglas. Indeed, said Hugh, but that is still to be determined. Come, let me show you the aqueduct. Hugh leads them outside. How do you think this bridge came about? The aqueduct? Didn't you build it? Asked Douglas. We did. On the other side of the city. It teleported from there to here 2 days ago. Teleported? What's that then? Asked Mark. It disappeared, then it reappeared somewhere else, said Douglas. Oh, like superposition. It re-entered the quantum field and turned into the other side of the city. Once you observed it here, it collapsed the field of potentiality to create a concrete actuality, said Mark. Kruger appears. Yes, quantum physics, yes, said Kruger sarcastically. That explains so much. Who the bloody hell are you, you big salmon sipper? Said Mark. Kruger ignores Mark. Hugh, I overheard that you're looking for humans who wish to become aqueducts. I would like to volunteer. Me too, it was Lillian. We know what's at stake. Please let us serve the cause. Hugh shakes his head. No, you two are too valuable. Hugh, our minds are made up. Think of it. What would be better than to sacrifice oneself for the sake of the world? It would bring me great happiness and meaning, said Kruger. I agree, said Lillian. No, and don't bring it up again, said Hugh sternly. He walks back to the barracks. Peter, come with me. I need your help with something. That's it.
Nice.
Oh my gosh, I hope Lillian becomes the Aqueduct, I gotta say. It's like his prize fighter becoming an Aqueduct. I think that'd be pretty cool.